He went a little out because he had the extra wood and had the time to do it because he was off. So he made himself a Treehouse Playhouse deer stand all in one. Just let you.
This is my kind of deer stand.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's Dave here with PFS Outdoors. If you've watched one of my previous videos, we've talked about the deer stands. I did a quick clip. Today's the day we're going to run through. I'm going to give you a walk around of the deer stands here on my property. I have 12.5 acres and about 4 acres of it is woods. Have quite a bit of good pictures of some deer that I'm going to post up on the videos here as we're talking about the deer stands. This deer stand right here is going to be the first one we're going to talk about. This is my 8x8 deer stand. It's not finished quite yet. I gotta put another window there to the left and another window to the right. This field right in front of me right here, I planted in clover, and here in just a minute I've actually got some winter peas that we're gonna plant and see how it does. But this is I just cut it so it looks a little brown, but it has clover all throughout it here, which the deer are in here just about every single night. I got a little top to my blind over there, my old blind that messed up on me. That kind of gives me a barrier to walk in when I'm coming through the woods there. This right here is my winter peas I'm gonna put down. Big time lockdown. It's an annual, so you have to, it just grows once, means you'll have to plant it again for the next season. Come around to my steps. So you see I'm only about 80 yards from the house. You can see the house through the trees there. This is my trail that I walk in, and once I get to that point, I've got some cut trees there for a wall barrier, and then I set the top of my old blind. That's my steps entrance. So what I did here is I just took some decking boards and 2x4s, ran them long ways. That way it gives some support when you're stepping on them. I took a 2x12. We'll show you up here. I still got to put my handrail up, but if you hear a little buzz and sounds like some bees, my buddy Chris has got the drone video going for me here. What you can see up here is where I just cut it at an angle and then nailed it into that. Then I took some old plywood and we had some strips, and I got a door from my brother there. Sorry, give me just a second to get in here. We'll get in and close the door here. All right, so this is the deer stand here. We got 8x8. I painted the inside of it black on the roof. I got some camouflage on the back. I'm gonna paint this back wall as well, so we're not quite silhouetted whenever we're hunting. Still got my lantern. It looks like a bird decided to make himself a good nest in here. I made some deer stands. Obviously, can't go wrong without this. It's a good Mr. Buddy heater. I've got the 12-foot hose with my big propane tank, so I could sit in here for days and hunt and stay nice and warm. So this is my view over here. Looking out, this is my main shot with I can shoot as far as I need to or can with my crossbow or my bow. But with the rifle, I can get easily about 100 yards straight out that way, probably about 80 yards that way. So this deer stand right here is where I had a lot of pictures of a buck we called Unicorn. I'll throw some pictures up on that. Unicorn showed up here. I thought I was going to have a real good chance at harvesting him right here, but that we'll tell you the rest of that unicorn story here shortly at another deer stand. So this is 8x8 deer stand, 10 feet off the ground. Put some burlap up here because unfortunately the way this site lies, this is the best spot for the deer stand, but it's facing east, which is where the sun comes up. So in the morning, as soon as that sun starts breaking the horizon there, it's pretty bright in your eyes. So I've got to put this burlap up right here that I have to keep the sun out of your eyes. But this is a really good deer stand. I've got a good established, about a 4-year mineral lick over here we're gonna go talk about real quick. And then we'll cut you out of here and get ready to go to the other deer stand. We'll talk about it. Gotcha. So this right here is one of the salt licks, mineral licks I was talking to you guys about earlier. It's got some dark water there from the rain. Because this stuff right here that I'm getting ready to show you, it's pretty sweet. I like putting it on it. This Black Magic mineral lick, you can pick it up at Walmart. The deer love it. I put it out once or twice a year. Can't beat it for about $6 to $8. It does really well. This is about 4 years in, and you can see I've got camera of deer coming and just licking at it. The stump here that it's sitting on absorbs it even, and kind of run off of it has kind of went on down, so it's kind of created quite a good size salt lick there, and they just come and lick on it. This little branch hanging down right here, and then in this tree right here where I've got a drip, almost every year a buck comes over here and makes himself a scrape on the ground and has himself some licking branches, and I've got pictures of about 4 or 5 different bucks coming to the same branch right here, which is standing right here looking at the deer stand. Probably about a 40-yard shot, give or take. It doesn't have a pre-tear. Gotta improvise. Maybe use the edge of my USB. There we go. That did it. I used the edge of my USB. Nice. Adapt and overcome. Yeah, when things break, I'm improvising. My handle just broke off, so it's kind of an old spreader anyways. Looks like it actually has some little clover seed in there as well. I'm just gonna spread the rest of this by hand. Well guys, you know how it is when you do things. The handle just broke off, so make sure that gets in the trash on the way out. I'm gonna spread this by hand real quick. We'll get you to the other stand. Once again, this is the Big Time Lockdown Winter Peas Mix. Looks like it also had some clover seed in there as well and some winter wheat. That's that. On to the next. This was very, very thick with cedars, so it had a lot of moss and wasn't being able to get a lot of airflow and a lot of rain and sunlight. As you can see, last year I cut a couple cedars down, about 4 cedars worth throughout the woods there, and I came back through here early season and planted clover all up and around in here and up in here. And it's done very, very well. The clovers come in. You can see when you get down close to it, and as you're walking through here, the heavy browse where they've been just eating it, where that's pretty much the clover's gone. It's just the stems. But I've got a few more cedars here that I plan on getting cut out. This big one here, I'm probably gonna cut part of it out, and a few more down through the woods and down the trail there, which has actually opened up a lot of shooting lanes. And every time I've come back here, I've spooked a few does coming in and out, putting some corn out. But that's something to consider if you have property that is a pretty thick cedar thicket. If you like it for the bedding, then I would leave it. But if you're wanting to kind of be able to put some food plots in, you got to be able to get them cedars out of there. And you can also use them for fence posts, so they come in handy, and you can use the tops like I've done right here and all through right here. I've pretty much created a barrier wall where we didn't have much, that way they can feel secure when they're coming out to eat here at these food plots. And I got myself a nice persimmon tree. Had a cedar tree growing right up it. I cut that out, and that persimmon tree has done very well this year. It already has big persimmons on it and it's getting ready to drop. So Getting cedars out can really be beneficial to your woods. It's cool to have a few, but I don't like having a huge cedar thicket. So stay tuned, because this winter I'll be cutting some more out, and I'll get some videos on that and talk more about it. Well guys, that's it for this deer stand. We've got the winter peas, winter wheat, clover mixture planted. Stay tuned for some future hunting videos from this deer stand, and we'll see how well sorry, I'm just watching Chris over here try and catch his drone about falling in Salt Lick. We'll hopefully harvest a deer from this area, and we'll show you how the winter peas turned out. All right guys, so this is going to start my walk in from the house. You can see the house there real quick to the deer stand. My other 6x6, so the 8x8 we just talked about is through the trail over that way, probably about 60-70 yards, and straight back this way is my other deer stand. It's a 6x6, not quite as big. I think I still put it 10 foot in the air. I've hunted out of this one quite a bit. Also got my other Mr. Buddy heater up in that one as well. This deer stand is where so far the biggest and only buck that my brother-in-law killed. I'll throw a picture of that up as well. He killed it when I was out hunting with my buddy at his property. He called me one morning with our cat sitting on his lap that followed him out here. Big old 8-point buck come through and started grunting and ran right over towards that feeder over there, and he shot him and put him on the ground. So as you can see here though, the persimmons are dropping. Whoop, there's one right there, I just about got hit. You can hear them falling like crazy. The ground is just literally covered with persimmon trees. I got one huge persimmon tree right there that's loaded. I've got another one right here, another one right there. I got tree branches right here where I've created a pile where they were so heavy this year. I've actually had the branches broke and fall off, and I've picked them up and just threw them over there so the deer can get to them pretty easy if they want to eat them off the branch. But this year is a killer year for persimmon trees. So this stand here, my steps aren't quite as good as the other one. I've got to do some work to it. You know, when you build stands like this, it takes a lot of money. So you kind of build them as you get the funds for it. So we're gonna go up this deer stand here, and I'll talk about it real quick. So as you can see, I had some old carpet, and I just threw some carpet down in here. That way you're not getting that wood popping on the floor whenever you're trying to move around on a deer. So this is my other food plot here. I had some clover out the last couple years, and some winter wheat. So I got about a 30-yard shot from here. I'm gonna cut the tops of those trees out, and I've got permission to hunt this field, and right on the other side of that cedar right there is a little pond. You can see the top of the water there just barely, but you can see that persimmon limb hanging way down. It's almost about to break because it's so heavy. And the cedar trees I cut down, how I was talking a while ago about making a natural wall that helps the deer feel a lot more comfortable when they're back here eating on this food plot. That way they're not looking right up to the house. So right here is my main shooting lane. I've got the deer that come through quite a bit right there. That's my feeder there. To my left, I've actually shot a doe down in here before where they come in. I had 9 deer come in that way. I've got a Salt Lick starting right there as well. Probably about 3 years. 3 years established, and this is my view from up here. It's a pretty good view. I'm gonna sit down in my chair. This is kind of what we're sitting down. So once I'm sitting down, really all the deer can see from up here is pretty much just my head. So I can move my feet and my hands, my arms, whatever I need to do to get ready, or just sit and observe them. I don't have to be seen. They don't have to get spooked. But this is deer stand number 2. Like I said, it's a 6x6. I'm not going to show it to you guys, but through the field over there, there's a tree on that fence line back there behind the pond. I've got a little 2-man stand. I have not hunted it yet, but I do have one put up against the tree back there just in case I get the itch to hunt something out there with. But it's hard to hunt back there when you have an enclosed 6x6 and an 8x8 to hunt with food plots on them. So we're gonna go to my mom and dad's, which is just about 2 miles down the street. We have 22 acres there. Hey guys, so we are now 2 miles down the street here at mom and dad's house. We have about 22.5 acres. So this is the their house is just right over here, but they got the little watering hole pond there, essentially the front yard, quite a big front yard with the driveway here. Down there they got their salt lick and their feeder. Quite a bit of deer come in through here, and they call this their hunting hooch. So they have about a 50-yard walk or less, 50-foot walk from their back door to the hunting hooch. He's got a little table set up in there that thing folds down and becomes the top to the table. They set the rifles down, they sit on their benches and turn the heater on and eat snacks and wait for deer to run back and forth across the road. There's nothing but woods over this way, so the deer cross through here quite a bit, especially when the does are hot and the bucks are in rut chasing. My brother's deer stand is way down that way. We'll show it to you here in a little bit. And then back over this way is the other stand. Alright guys, you have to excuse the gator noise, but this is our walk-in whenever we come hunting. First stand up will be my brother-in-law Johnny. I think he built a 6x6. Alright guys, are you gonna hold it? Yeah, I'll hold it. Alright, I get all the cobwebs off my face. It's that time of year, October, and cobwebs everywhere. So as you can see here, this is a stand we built last year, year before last. My brother-in-law Johnny. My stand's about 150 yards that direction. But as you can see, as Chris is panning here, all in through here. We came in here last year with the tractor and the chainsaw, and he did a whole lot of cutting and planted some clover. There's some weeds mixed in, but there's quite a bit of clover in here. He's got his mineral lick and his corn feeder over there as well. So slide on over this way, we can get a good look up kind of on how he did his deer stand. He put a piece of plexiglass up there, and the plexiglass, that way he can see through it. I think it's still open. He's got a string tied up there, so when he pulls it, that will open up and actually act as a roof. So if it's raining, it'll kind of hit the top of that plexiglass and run off, instead of coming into the deer stand. And this black window here, it lays down to a bench. Right over here is where a lot of the bucks come from. This back in here, we've had some deer every time we shoot them, and they run back there. And that's where they always run to. When we start tracking them back there, we find tons and tons of rubs and scrapes from where the deer are just coming through here. The field that's right here, they cross numerous times. They cross right here and behind us. So let's get up in here, and I'm gonna show you the rest of the deer stand, or you can follow me up. So his door just has a simple latch. He's already got his handrail. Make sure there's no snakes right here sitting while I step in. Let me see it real quick. One thing you can't get past is there's always going to be stinking field mice. Look at that little sucker. I hate mice. Wish he would just hurt and just jump down. I don't want to talk about it while I sit up here. I don't want to run up my leg and jump on my face. If he jumps on me, you're probably going to hear me scream. So this is the rope pull. He's going to sit over there in the corner, it looks like. So he just pulls this, and you pull that. That stays down. He's got a couple screws right here. You just pull up and wrap this around it, and it'll hold. And there's your plexiglass and your window. You can shoot out of it like so. When you're done, you unhook it, let it slide back down. Right here, I'm gonna try not to touch his mouse. Right here, he's just got like wall hangers for a picture. You just unhook that there. I wish this sucker would move because he's right where I need to stick my finger. Move, you little sucker.
Can I shoot it?
This isn't home.
Probably explode.
I know. I hate mice. Maybe he'll jump down here and jump out. Ah, shoot.
Nope.
Nope.
Not out.
So anyways,
He's coming this way though.
that's how this works. He opens that up. He's got himself a tabletop now. We got our chair to sit in. Sit down on our chair. He also has a window right here with plexiglass that raises up. Same as the other side with a string and some screws. You can put your gun, your coffee, whatever you want to do, and just this is your view out the stand here. He's got a really good view. That field right there, like I said, we see tons of deer crossing through over here. So back to the unicorn story. So my brother-in-law's sitting here hunting. I'm over down there at my stand about 150 yards away. We hear Johnny shoot, and then you know how it goes nowadays since we have cell phones and text messages. Your phone's blown up with text messages now. Just say, did you get it? And then he gets over and he says, I just shot unicorn. So I was like, are you serious? So from Johnny's stand right here, unicorn came through right there. Johnny shot him, killed him. We found him we had to track him up there where I said they always run to a while ago. He ran up in there and killed over. We harvested him and got him back. I'll show you some pictures of him. But from Johnny's stand probably to my deer stand at my house where I was getting him is probably close to a mile and a half easily, straight shot. So I don't know the route he takes. He could take a couple mile route, but the bucks move quite a bit when they're in rut and got hot does. So, but this is Johnny's stand number one here at Mom and Dad's. It's food plot right there. So it's pretty cool, sweet little setup here. Did you see where that mouse went, Chris?
Yeah, it's up in the corner.
What corner?
Oh, well, it was up there.
He's in here chewing on all this insulation foam stuff we put on there. So.
Oh, I don't know where it went. It was hanging out right there.
That latch is back. I don't know where he went either. I'm gonna go before he gets on me. Alright, we're gonna climb down, shut the door up here, and next up will be my deer stand. Crazy, the mice can get into anything.
Yep. I don't know where he went.
I have no idea where he went. Alright guys, let's get back on the gator here. We'll go do a U-turn up here in the woods and get off to my stand.
You want to turn on the audio? Just hold it up. We're good?
recording.
Cool beans.
Definitely feel the temperature change when you get in this shade in here.
Oh yeah.
You can't out there in the sun. So they cross right through here all the time. And then they come out here in this field and they can stand on the crest of it because the field kind of crests there in the middle. And they cross right in and come in behind my deer stand before they go on the other side. It makes some weird noises, but it runs good.
As long as it works.
Yeah, I don't know why it makes that noise for me. I only did it while we were turning. Here's a trick everybody needs to have. Just drive like this. But when you're going through your trails, this catches all your stinking cobwebs.
couple of them.
This tree broke out. This wasn't like this just the other day because I was back here cleaning up my trails a little bit. These tree branches weren't down here.
It's all on the GoPro too.
So I killed my first buck from this property out of this tree right here. We had a climber and I climbed up there and shot it down over there. This is a hot spot for some scrapes. This is about half the distance between me and Johnny. Cleaned it all up because it had so much overhanging. Down here, cleaned all the brush up. My deer stand's gonna be right over there when we come around this curve. It's not as fancy yet as Johnny's. It doesn't have a lip or a roof on it.
Apparently there's a spider in one of them because I just pulled the spider off of my neck.
Yeah, I get them on there too every now and then. It's aggravating.
Oh man.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it. Trying to get all the
Get them
cobwebs.
on your face.
Yeah.
Alright guys, here's my stand. We've had this one built for probably almost 5 years now. It's got a lot of undergrowth. I'm going to get in here this year and really clean up a lot of this underbrush here. Actually, I'm going to spin around, let me and Chris switch here so you can see what I'm talking about. All this underbrush growth here, it's insanely thick. The deer have trails coming through here, but before all this grew up, probably about 3 or 4 years ago, I could see quite a ways in here, and I could see deer all the way down here and all the way up the other hillside. So I'm gonna try and get in here and do some cleaning up so we can get some good footage, get some good close footage, get some of these smaller trees cut out that aren't really serving any purpose. They're too big to be rubbed on, and they're just maple trees. They don't put any acorns, no food value to them. So let's go up here and
You can use them to smoke things.
yeah. We're gonna climb up this deer stand here. I'll let you guys see first if there's a raccoon or a squirrel up there. Alright guys, so here's the flooring of my vehicle, tongue tie. Here is what I use for the flooring on my deer stand. I think it used to come from my brother's house. Tore down the deck. I just use them because they're good for deer hunting still. Over there is my salt lick. I normally come and sit right here with my back to the tree. So with my back to the tree, this is kind of my view. Right here is where I killed my nice 8-pointer. Jumped the fence, shot him right here, and he turned around and ran back that way. I've had numerous deer encounters at this deer stand. This is quite the hot spot sometimes when they're really moving. So we got the trail, comes on down through here, goes on around. We're gonna go through that trail and continue that way. We're gonna go down the hill to my brother's stand. So this is my deer stand here, and hopefully we'll get some good footage of a nice harvested buck from this deer stand. So, all right, now I'm gonna drop you at Chris. Ready?
Yeah. Cool. It recorded that.
Yeah. I'll make sure it was blinking. All right.
Is there enough to get to his stand?
Oh yeah. We'll have another stand and do a quick talk.
Okay. That's a big one.
Saved you.
Yep.
They cross right here all the time. That's why there's a little pond on that corner up there, just off the property line. That big mushroom. It's crazy looking.
All the mushrooms. There's a couple in my backyard.
There's the property line coming up, but fence is kind of smashed down in some areas, so they just jump it. Come right on through here. So Eric's deer stands down there. Down this hill. Nice and slow. Really slow. That's just the brakes. Right there, edit that part out. If there's any deer down here, they're not anymore. Alright guys, we are down at my brother's deer stand. As you can see, they hit his mineral lick down here at there's a deer right there. You can see it jumping and running.
Scared of that gator.
It's not scared, it's just walking away.
Oh.
See the tail end of it? You can see its tail flickering right there. It's just straight through them weeds. So it was just bedded down right here, chilling in the shade. Well, that's cool. It's always nice to see deer when you come out to the woods. And it didn't spook after all that. Us coming down there making all that noise and craziness. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So we can see right here, they're hitting his mineral lick very frequent out here. It's he's got a good established one as well. They like it down here. My brother, his deer stand, we do a 360 here. It's kind of flat right here, but right here is the creek. I'm gonna show you, and it just goes straight uphill, very steep up that way. The creek continues on around. We've cleared all of this out. This was trees and covered. We've cut and cleared all this out, and he's planted some clover as well. And kind of goes uphill that way, So this is the original deer stand. And then 2.0. We'll give you the walk around on that here real quick.
So that looks like it needs a walk around.
Yeah, you can walk around in it. That's how big it is. I think he built that one as an 8x8 as well, like mine at home. Right here is where they come through and cross a lot. So he's got really cool creek. It always has water. This is end of fall. We just come out of summer and it has flowing water, and you can see water standing over here. So he's got a direct water source with a salt lick and a food source. So I'll get you over here and talk about his deer stand real quick. First time he ever killed a deer, I think he was sitting at that tree right there. That tree over there, and the buck walked right up out of the creek and he shot it very close. Like I said, that's old school. Straight up climb on some little bitty poles. I never cared for trying to climb up there, but he did. This is new school. he went a little out because he had the extra wood and had the time to do it because he was off. So he made himself a Treehouse Playhouse deer stand all in one. Just let you.
This is my kind of deer stand.
Yeah, you can sit and put your Mr. Buddy heaters out here. This is what it looks like. So he looks like he did every 16, just like you would a house on Cedars. Use some OSB board flooring. And I think he used for the sides. He used the concrete board. So pretty cool, sweet little deer stand. You forgot to knock on the door first.
Oh.
You didn't ring the doorbell. Has everything but a doorbell.
Hello?
Has everything but a doorbell. So my brother does have two or three kids of his own that are gonna hunt. So this, what you see here, he made this and set it down inside. It actually spans across the whole length, so you can put it up and have a table and put your Mr. Buddy heater on.
That's a lot of case.
Yep, old spent casing. So from his deer stand, that's the trail we just came down. The deer cross that trail quite often. Here's on the back sides the other trail that leads to the field behind us up on the hill. Remainder of the creek over there. Right over in here or over in here is where he's killed the biggest buck on the property and his biggest buck during gun season. We'll get a picture of that as well too. I believe it scored 160 or 162 inch. Sucker was a beast. I was kind of jealous. I only had the record for a week and then my brother broke it the next weekend. This is looking out here and then up the hillside. Most of you know when the leaves are gone, you can see quite a ways. Then that flat right there just goes out into a field. Sometimes it's corn, sometimes it's soybeans. So, I'll give you a quick look around the ceiling. So if you guys are interested in the deer stand, you can leave me a comment. We can get in contact with you, and he can give you the dimensions if you need to. But I'll give you a slow look around here so you guys can see kind of how he built it. He's more of a carpenter than I, and can build things a lot better than I can. So his is done a little different than what mine is. My
Carpet bed's nice.
Yeah, he did put the carpet pad down so that way it's nice and soft. I think he's gonna put some carpet in here too. I've got some carpet at the house. He's built another really cool deer stand, but it's also a tree house for the kids out in the woods at his house. We may do a video on that one here shortly. I think it has like a deck outside the front so they can walk around it and all kinds of cool stuff. But this is my brother's tree stand. This is this kind of concludes all the deer stands we have from my place, with the 2 or 3 deer stands I have there, and we have 4 deer stands here, counting the hooch up there that I told you about that Mom and Dad hunt out of. But if we're not here, we don't care who hunts out of our deer stand, so we all kind of hunt out of each other's. But these are our set when we're all hunting. This is where where everybody hunts at. So give me a subscribe. I enjoyed doing this video. I hope you liked it. I know outdoorsmen always like seeing how other hunters have done their food plots and their deer stands, and just getting out, seeing new terrain and new territory. So stay tuned for more videos. We're going to hopefully get a lot of hunting videos of some harvest out of all these deer stands this year. My buddy Chris there behind the deer stand, or behind the camera, we're going to get him up in one of these and get him a kill this year.